The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys hit that like button and definitely take the time to subscribe, and you'll get great boxing content. You won't regret it, and I'll greatly appreciate it. So, do that for sure. But listen, man, I want to talk about Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez and the little, verbal confrontation they had last night in Fresno, because I've had some time to marinate and I've had some time to digest on just what exactly took place between the pair of them. And look, there's been a lot of talking on social media for years. There's been a lot of hooting and hollering between the pair of them for years. And listen, in 2022, the same thing I said for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in the third fight applies directly to Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. In 2022, it's no excuses and no dishonor. We got to make this damn fight happen. Now, these two are talking, and look, I got to talk about both sides of this, okay? So, Teofimo Lopez, first, he chimed in by saying, basically, that Devin Haney doesn't want the fight, that he's not interested in making the fight because supposedly there was a meeting that was supposed to take place between Teofimo Lopez, his father, his team, and Devin Haney, his father, and his team about putting together a fight with Lopez. And apparently, Devin never showed up. And that's why last night during the argument, Tia was like, "What happened to the meeting with Bob? What happened to the meeting with Bob? What happened to the meeting with Bob?" Like, Teofimo Lopez was going in last night. And these guys, these guys have huge fan bases here on YouTube. I've been a part of the Teofimo Lopez fan for a long time, the fan base for a long time. I'm a Lopez fan. And I've also followed Devin Haney for a long time. I've been following Devin Haney since probably even before I was following Teo, because I heard about Devin Haney the first time in 2014, and I didn't hear about Teo until 2015 when I was going to Canino's boxing gym in Dania Beach, and I was sparring people in the gym. And one of the guys that I sparred actually fought Teo in the Golden Gloves, and that's when I was really hearing his name because people were talking about him so much back in 2015 here in the South Florida area. So I've been following both these guys for the better part of half a decade. And I've always had questions about Devin Haney, because, feelings aside, if we're just being objective, Devin Haney doesn't come from a tough background. Not saying that you got to come from a tough background to be a great fighter, because we've seen in the past, there's been fighters that didn't come from tough backgrounds that still became something in boxing. But, boxing for the most part is a poor man's sport. It's a sport for people that come from poverty, come from nothing. They come from the mud. They come from broken homes, broken dreams, broken promises. And that gives them that extra bit of grit to go harder in the ring. Now, Devin Haney, I've always had questions about, his toughness. I've questioned his toughness. I've questioned his ability to really be a top flight fighter in the sport, because he's been given all the accolades, all the adoration and everything before he really proved it in the ring. He was being called a superstar and being treated like a superstar when he was 17, 16, 18 years old, when he was having his birthday at the Palms in Vegas. So, I have questions about him. Teofimo Lopez, I have less questions about him because of what he's done in the pros. He's, first of all, he won the trials for the USA, and then they had the whole thing with Carlos Balderas as an amateur. But then when he got to the pros, he's wasting no time. He's already, the undisputed champion. To me, I don't look at Devin Haney the undisputed champion because they emailed him the belt. They sent him a Gmail to get his belt. So I don't look at Devin Haney as the champion. Teofimo Lopez is the real champion. It's the WBC's fault for muddying up the waters and creating all this bullshit. But I want to see this fight in 2022 because Devin Haney was saying that Teofimo Lopez, he says, "You're cap and you don't want to fight." And he said also, Devin Haney said that, "Oh, I got more followers than you and you need me and this, that, and the third." And it's like, look, followers they mean fuck all on Instagram when it comes to boxing, because you can have 1 million followers like Amir Khan, but you're not no pay-per-view fighter. There's plenty of fighters in boxing. There's a couple of fighters in boxing who have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million followers on social media, and they can't even do 400,000 pay-per-view buys. So don't talk to me about Instagram followers, because Instagram followers don't equate to superstardom, and Instagram followers don't equate to you being a actual bigger star than the next man. Now, personally, look, Teofimo isn't a much bigger star than Devin. I don't think either one of them is really bigger than the other right now. But Teo has accomplished more than Devin Haney in the boxing ring. He is the better fighter. He's a superior fighter. I think if they fight, he will be the superior fighter. And if Devin Haney, OG Bill Haney, if they think otherwise, make this fight happen. Because look, I was there. I was in the crowd, and I had a pretty damn good seat when I saw him fight Jorge Linares. And Jorge Linares was old and, you know, really past his best days, passed by his, you know, his sell-by date. And Jorge Linares, man, he had Devin Haney with a couple punches, had him doing the damn Macarena all the way to the corner. And Jorge Linares had to walk Devin Haney back to his own corner during the fight. So, yeah, he showed heart, but Devin Haney really hasn't shown me anything as far as development or improving. I have a lot of questions about him. I don't really see the Devin Haney the way that a lot of his cult on here YouTube sees him. I see him as a talented fighter. I see him as a fighter who has his best boxing in front of him. But I don't see the next Floyd Mayweather. I don't see none of that stuff. I just see a young, talented fighter who's got potential in the sport. But I don't see no damn next Floyd Mayweather. I think people have gone extreme with it. You know, these channels, not going to say no names, but you know these channels that push false narratives and that, you know, Bill Haney and Devin Haney are giving all their time to that they like to use to push a narrative out there. You know, those channels push false narratives out there, and people who don't know any better in boxing follow the narratives. But for those of us that have really been in the know, that have really been following boxing, we know Teofimo Lopez has been the fighter that has really done the heavy lifting at 135. You know, this is a guy that he was calling for a Vasily Lomachenko fight in like late 2018. Lomachenko told him, no, you got to get a belt. So the minute Lomachenko told him that, all he did was go through the top fighters in the rankings and get those fights. He fought freaking Edis Tatley, who was ranked. He fought Nakatani, who was ranked. He then fought Comey, who a lot of people thought he couldn't beat for the IBF title, beat him, and then he got the Lomachenko fight. And when push came to shove, he was a man of his word, and he proved to be everything that him and his father, Junior Lopez, a.k.a. Nostradamus, said he was. And that was a superstar, creme de la creme, A-level fighter. Now, you can say he's been a diva. That's your opinion. But you can't take away what Teo has done in boxing his last 3 fights. Now, Devin Haney, Teo's been inactive for a whole year. Hasn't been in the picture for a whole year. And Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia and the rest of 135 haven't really made up a lot of ground as far as catching up to what Teofimo's already done. So my thing is this. Devin Haney's got a December 3rd date. I know he wants to fight Jojo Diaz. That fight probably won't happen. And if it doesn't happen, look, there's a guy named Regis Prograis who's calling you out. Regis Prograis has made himself available. He said, hey, I'm ready, willing, and able to step in and fight you on December the 3rd if you want to get it on, because Devin Haney has said himself that he could be fighting December 3rd his next fight at 140. So if he's fighting his next fight at 140 and you got one of the top 40 pounders in the world calling you out in Regis Prograis, and you're the guy that's saying he's the boogeyman, then how about this? How about you be about what you say you are and fight Regis Prograis? Because you beat him, then we're going to have to take you a lot more serious, Devin Haney. You know, straight up. Not saying Devin Haney can't fight. Not saying Devin Haney doesn't have great skills, because look, I've interviewed a lot of fighters from Vegas who have sparred Devin Haney, and they have the utmost respect for him. They say Devin Haney is one of the smartest fighters, or the smartest fighter they've been in the ring with. So I know Devin Haney has got potential to be a great fighter, but in terms of what he's actually done under the lights, where it matters and where it counts, he hasn't done that yet. And the best way he could do that is starting December 3rd. If you can't get Jojo Diaz, fight Regis Prograis. And then if you beat Regis Prograis, then how much bigger is that Teofimo Lopez fight? It's a lot bigger, because now you've really shown yourself to be what exactly it is you say you are. And if you don't fight Regis Prograis, then you aren't what you say you are. Teofimo Lopez, he could be a diva. You know, I don't agree with everything he's done since the Lomachenko fight, but Teofimo Lopez has a bit more leeway because of who he's been beating. All right, you see, look, I can be honest. I don't like Canelo Alvarez. Okay, I think Canelo Alvarez is a fucking piss stain to the sport, and I hate him. And I hope he leaves the sport of boxing for good. I can't wait for that day. But removing my feelings from it, because it's not good to be in your feelings as a man, Canelo Alvarez has leeway to be a diva in boxing because Canelo Alvarez has beaten named top credible fighters in his weight classes. Now, there's things I don't agree with, but he beat them. Regardless, irrespective of what I think, he beat those guys to get to the position he's at. Devin Haney's over here blabbering away about how much money he's made, how much of a boss he is, how many followers he's got, but we don't see him fight anybody. If you're truly a boss and you can truly make these fights happen, then fight Regis Prograis come December 3rd. That's all I gotta say. If you're a boss, Devin, and you got money, and you're this and you're that, and you're a killer, and everybody's capping, and you're the boogeyman, we'll pull Regis Prograis' card and make the December 3rd fight happen. And if not, then you have been exposed before you get exposed in the ring of ITF. If you don't fight Regis Prograis, you've been exposed for not being what you say you are, before you even get exposed against Teofimo Lopez in the ring. And people can say I'm being biased, but I'm consistent, man. I've been saying for quite some time now. Like I said it I said it while I was at the Devin Haney fight. You can see me in the stands. The video's out there. I haven't taken it down. While I'm in the stands talking about he better stay far away from Teofimo Lopez because look, Devin Haney needs a lot of things in his life. Devin Haney needs food, he needs water, he needs shelter, he needs to be successful, he needs to make money. But one thing that Devin Haney don't need in his life is to fight Teofimo Lopez if he wants to progress his boxing career. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's my little take on what happened last night. Just give my thoughts on it because I did go live about it, but I wanted to put a video out there for you guys. You guys, let me know what you think. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.